Hi and welcome to my series of creating the Breakout game from scratch. So today I will be implementing the Dear ImGui library into my game. And as you can see in this video, I won't be doing much work on the UI, but mainly the setup. So as you can see, the text currently isn't even correctly centered. But yeah, so I added a variable ImGui window flag, which holds all of the window flags that we want. For example, like no background or no resize and so on. I will show you later on exactly. I also added two new functions, shutdown and process event, and these functions will ImGui mainly use. And also the create text from before no longer holds a character size. So I started with the init function. So I added all of the window flags that I wanted. So as you can see, no title bar, and we also don't want the player to move our window, and also they can't resize it. And the same with no background, so we just want a see-through panel. I also called the init on the ImGui, and what it takes is a render window and also whether we want to have the default font. But since I already have a font of my own, I said false, and then I added a font of my own with a character size of 48. So then we also just have to call the update font texture so that the ImGui can use our own font. So our create text, I deleted all of the things that I had before, because now we're gonna use the ImGui. And so first we need to get the current cursor position, and then we have to add the position offset to it. So create text takes in a position offset. It doesn't take the exact position. It's a bit different than what I'm used to, but it works. And if the filler color is equal to the white, then we're gonna call the text font text colored, and this function can take in a color as well. So again, a bit weird, but it works. So and these two are, like I said, those two functions, the shutdown and the process event, that only the ImGui is gonna use. I can also later on use it if I wanted to. So the update function. So first I'm going to start with the SFML update, and we will have to call begin, which is going to create a new window where we can pass in the window flags that we want. So it is an immediate mode GUI, which means that we have to create a new GUI window every single frame. So if the current panel is equal to pause panel, then we're just gonna set the panel to pause panel again. So this is gonna be called every frame. And this curve panel is a variable that I used before in my previous videos. And yeah, we can do the same if current panel is equal to main panel. I actually, now that I think about it, I should most likely just have this in a switch statement, but whatever, it's an easy fix. If our escape key is pressed, well then we can call set panel to pause panel, which then in the next frame is gonna check if current panel is pause panel and so on. And then we also have to call ImGui end to show that we don't want to draw anything else, and then we're just gonna simply render this window. Okay, so we can create a struct that can hold basic info about panels. So for example, their type, size, and position. For now, all of my panels would be the same size and the same position, starting at 0, 0. But later on, I might add, for example, a debug panel, which doesn't have to be the whole size or a different position. So I thought it might be good to just have the functionality already created. And then I also added a vector of all of the panels. And I created a function that can simply construct a panel which just takes in the necessary parameters like the type, size, and position. and then also to retrieve a panel with the necessary panel type. Okay, so the construct panels, it's actually nothing really that special. We create a temporary panel and set all of the information, and then just later on add it to the vector, right? This is it's very hard programming, I know. But then the get panel function is it's still pretty simple. So what we just have is a simple for loop that loops through all of the panels that we have in our vector, and then check if the two types are the same. And if it is, we can then return that panel. Otherwise, we're gonna have to terminate the program. And in our init function, yes, we can just simply construct our 4 different panels. And like I said, see, I have the same size and the same position for all 4 of them. But then, like I mentioned, we might have like a debug panel that doesn't have to have that large of. And for our set main panel, all we have to do is retrieve the panel values that we have, and then set the window size and position relevant to our panel values that we have. And if I did everything correctly, this should work. And there we go. So as you can see, we get the same result as I showed in the beginning of it. I just want to quickly mention that I forgot to record in our main.cpp file, but if you watched my previous videos, it's pretty much the same thing, right? So if you want to, I can leave a link down below if you wish. And this is, I'm gonna show you now how it looks with the default font. And yeah, it's it's pretty small, right? So that's why I had my own, not my font, I got it from Google, but yeah, we can do exactly the same thing with the pause panel and the other panels, and everything works. And yeah, you can see in the pause menu, it's definitely off center, right? So I still have to work a little bit with ImGui to see how everything works. But that's all I had to show for today. Thank you so much if you made it through this video. Okay, I don't really know what to say, but thank you so much. Subscribe and like and so on. See you next time.